Thank you. Hi, my name is Andrzej Głuszak. It's very hard to pronounce because it's a Polish name. I work for JetBrains, and today I will tell you something about the build server protocol. So, what is the build server protocol? You've probably heard about the language server protocol, which is used for building code intelligence for IDEs. So build server protocol is used for communication between IDEs and build tools. It's inspired by LSP. And similarly to LSP, it solves the n times m problem. So what is it? It's, let's say you have 3 IDEs and you have 4 build tools. So for each IDE, you would normally have to build a integration with that build tool separately. So the build server protocol enables you to write just a one server for your build tool and one client for the IDE, and this solves this complexity. So that's the good old Duke from Java reminding us the principle to write once, run everywhere. This is similar. So a bit of history. So once upon a time, there were many Scala build tools, many IDEs, and they all wanted to be able to talk one to another. So later, we joined and wanted to make a new plugin for Bazel. So we jumped on this train and decided to build it upon the build server protocol, which was developed by us, JetBrains, and the Scala Center. One protocol to rule them all. So now we made a server for Bazel, which supports many languages. All the Scala build tools and Scala IDs I mentioned are also included. And there are new build tools which are supported by BSP. Cargo, which is a build tool for Rust, and Microsoft is working on support for Gradle. So the architecture of BSP is very similar to LSP. It's also a JSON RPC protocol. That's, well, not exactly client-server architecture, but for simplicity, we call build tools servers and IDEs we call clients. BSP consists of a set of core requests and notifications, and for each build tool or language, you can have an extension which provides specific metadata, like, for example, jars, the list of jars which are dependencies of a given Java target. Difference between BSP and LSP is that in BSP you don't get dynamic capability registration, so all clients and servers have to explicitly list what they're capable of on startup. So what can they be capable of? For example, you can ask the server to build this target with a given ID. You can ask it to give you a list of sources belonging to this target. You can run all the tests or some of the tests contained in the given target. You can reload the workspace. You can clean the cache. You can list the dependencies, and so on. The architecture of the protocol is that we have written it in the Smithy data description language, and this Smithy thing is developed by Amazon, and it allows for very easy code generation. So all of our support libraries for Java, Kotlin, Scala, and Rust, and also our website with the specification in TypeScript. They're all generated from the single file. You change the file and everything gets regenerated. That's very handy. So our BSP server for Bazel, it's called Bazel BSP. It allows you to have a client connected to your Bazel project, basically. So BSP targets and Bazel targets, they have one-to-one correspondence. That's very that makes very easy for us to use the target IDs. In Bazel, it is clearly specified what is a binary target that you can run, what is a test target that you can test. And Bazel also has a very powerful query and aspect system that all greatly helped us during the development. But we also encountered some problems. For example, we were trying to use the build event protocol for reporting events in IDEs. Also, extracting structured diagnostics is hard. Both of those things are hard and require very often writing specific, handling specific cases for which is not universal. So in general, we use aspect injection to gather information about your workspace. And we either run some Bazel command like query or just test, run, etc. Then we either parse the standard output or the BEP events. Unfortunately, BEP turned out to be a bit unreliable for that purpose. Yeah, so basically all of BSP requests can be easily translated to Bazel commands for other build tools. The correspondence should also be similar. And we will have the entire Birds of Feather session dedicated to our new Bazel plugin for IntelliJ. So we will be able to learn more about it tomorrow or the day after. We have a BSP Discord. You can join it if you want to learn more about BSP. Of course, all of the currently existing servers are publicly available on GitHub. The source code for our client is also on GitHub. And if you plan to help us building the new tooling experience, you can join us on this Discord. Yeah, so thank you. I wish you happy Bazeling and IntelliJing, and you can ask me questions.
Yeah, we have time for questions. So if you have any, raise your hand.
Can you say a few words about how the build event protocol is giving you a hard time?
So basically the problem is that it doesn't contain all the info we need. So we have to parse the standard output anyway. That's the main problem. The other problem, it's more related to our comfort during development, is that we have to, because there is no there is no pre-compiled jar, which would be like the proto library with the protos for BEP available. We very often have to recompile the proto stuff.
And because it fits the question very well, the problem we have with the build event protocol is that the upload in IDEs is synchronous, not asynchronous. So you have 4 developers sitting in their home networks, and all of a sudden they are facing a 2 GB build event protocol because of the unit tests and the selections and what you have.
Start using output filter then.
Want to comment on that, or do you want to comment on that?
No, maybe there are other questions.
So yeah, if there are more questions, yes.
You mentioned Microsoft are working on Gradle support. I was wondering, does this mean BSP will be this beautiful bridge that means VS Code and IntelliJ both benefit from these efforts?
Yeah, so I don't know about the BSP, like the most general case, if it's supported in VS Code, but yeah, for example, there's Metals, which is a Scala IDE, and it's based on, I mean, it's a plugin for VS Code, and it uses BSP. Yeah, so VS Code and IntelliJ working together. Yay.
Questions? All right, if not, then let's thank Andrzej again.